So, you want to go to Tempurung, right? Here are a couple of things that you can take note on the fun facts about Tempurung, as well as what to look for when you're actually trying to go to Tempurung. And here we go. Tempurung is sort of like the largest natural cave that we have here in the whole peninsula Malaysia. It is not the largest in the whole of Malaysia though. There is currently one in Sabah that is actually a longer version of this. Now, this Tempurung is essentially a tour that you can take that involves 4 to 5 different packages in which you can find online. So, the cheapest package, the first 3, are the dry packages. You essentially don't get to experience underneath the caves where you cannot get wet. So it's perfect for people who are very young or very old or afraid to get wet. However, if you are an explorer junkie like this fella here, then you might want to consider going over to the wet version of it, okay? So what does the wet version entail? So that's pretty much on the tour number 4 and number 5. Now, how far of a distance in time do we actually need to allocate for these packages? The first 3 can be done with less than 35 minutes, depending on how fast and how slow and the big size of group that you have on that day. Now, my experience, if you take the full package, you will use up 6 freaking hours in that cave. So please remember to pack food, pack water, pack gloves, in case if you don't want to injure your hand, pack your lighting. Mine ran out throughout the whole trip. And let me tell you, it's pretty dark. You can't even see what's in front of your hands. Now, there are also a lot of creatures that you want to take note of, which can happen to stumble you, or you stumble into them when you're in this cave. One of the most, let's put it in 2 categories. One is lethal and one is non-lethal. So the non-lethal ones include something like this. So pretty cute little bug that happens to be one of the, what do they call it? It's not a spider, it's more like a cricket. So this cricket is pretty much adapted to living around in the caves with 0 lights. And how do they do this is that they actually have very long antlers that senses the vibrations, the mini vibrations around in the earth, to give them a notion of where the water is or where food can be found. Then we look into spiders. And spiders, I can tell you, I don't remember taking a picture of a spider. If I have it, I'll put it up here. So the spiders essentially are so different from the spiders that we see here. They are much bigger. They are about the size of my hand. And they have really long antlers as well to sense vibrations and sense the movement of their prey so that they can now attack them. Now, we were a little bit unfortunate because fortunate because we couldn't actually find ular kapak. So ular kapak is one of the most commonly found snakes that happens to be around in the cave. Now, so we were asking the tour guide, why are there snakes inside the cave? And his reply was, well, they're lost. They actually don't want to be in the cave, but they accidentally enter into the cave and now they can't get out. Snakes, unfortunately, do not have sensory perceptions of the smaller little crickets or the spiders. They will roam around and eventually get lost and then die out of hunger or thirst. Should in case if you want to be involved in their meal plan, I strongly suggest you listen to your tour guide to not wander off too far. And now moving on to the bats. So, coronavirus is upon us, and yes, there are many bats above our heads. And I believe it was the number 3, platform number 3 that has the word Batman or something like that. So in that cave, bats can only be around there around June, July, August or September. Somewhere around that line. I'm not too sure when it's the date. So it is highly recommended that you try to avoid those kind of dates because the bats will now swarm that area and you get a lot of bat droppings falling down on your head. Alright, now so that's all of the precautions, of the biological precautions that we have. Now we move on to a more physical precautions before you enter into the cave. So please take note of yourself whether you are capable to do a little bit of mountain climbing and a little bit of sliding. So there are 2 to 3 different areas in which you have to slide down. Example in this video right here. So I must admit, sliding down is in fact one of the most fun part in this whole Batu Tempurung experience. I highly recommend you try this out with your loved ones. Now this is a perfect place to bring your loved ones there or to propose actually. Like I don't really see a lot of people proposing in the cave, but trust me, there are times when you have to hold hands, you have to snuggle, you can sneak a kiss. here and there, but just do it, okay? You're gonna thank me later for it. Alright, so that's pretty much it. That pretty much wraps up this crazy little vlog of the Gua Tempurung. I really do appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, as I do mainly about photography, videography, content creations, and so on and so forth, vlogging like this. Now, I am shooting this on a iPhone, so this video is the very first video that I've challenged myself. You know what? Let's not use a DSLR to film myself, but let's use a phone to film myself, because most of the clips were shot in the Gua Tempurung was using the iPhone 12 Pro Max, both photos and videos. So there you have it. I'm only using my DSLR just for audio, just because you don't want to hear this audio all the time. You might want to hear a bit more crispier audio coming in from the shotgun mic. So my name is Wajik. Thank you so much for watching, and cue outro.